Hi there and welcome to my carp fishing, carp angling channel, committed to carp, bedtime stories. If this is your first visit to the channel, thank you for clicking on the video. If you are currently subscribed and following the channel, it's good to have you back again. Your support is always appreciated. It's the 2nd of January and the first carp fishing session for me of 2026. Episode 4 of my Wireside winter carp campaign. I've already got the bivvy set up, the rods are already out, so let's talk setup and run you through what's going on this session. As I mentioned, I've got the rods out already, Scabby Fox on the rods all through the winter campaign. Okay, so let's talk spots. The right hand side rod is at 10 wraps, just before where that seagull landed. And the middle rod, again 10 wraps, open water. The left hand side rod a bit shorter at 7 wraps, where I've seen a couple of carp show, so that's great. PVA solid bags on all 3 rods, nothing spectacular there. That's the exact same setup I used in episode 1, 2 and 3, and if you haven't seen episode 3, I did have a really good session. It's absolutely Baltic today, I must say. When I got here it was down to -3 already, and part of sunny 2 is already beginning to freeze over. In front of pegs 14 and 13, it's freezing over fast. And just through the trees, looking across to sunny Lake 1, that is beginning to freeze. Probably half of it has nearly froze already. So very, very cold temperatures as expected for carp fishing in winter. I'm out for 48 hours on this session, and hopefully through those 48 hours I can get a bite or 2. Now, it is really cold, to be expected in winter. Now, I have fished when it's been a lot colder than this and still managed to put carp on the bank. It isn't impossible, it just takes a hell of a long time to get a bite sometimes, and bite times can be so random you don't know when you're going to get a run, to be honest with you. So with that being said, I'm going to jump in the shelter which I'm using on this session and tie up a few solid PVA bags, get the kettle on and sit and watch the water, see what happens over the next couple of hours. Little Robbie, come in, say hello to me. I think even the birds are trying to get away from the cold weather. Hello, little Robin. I haven't really got any maggots I can feed you. I can crumb you some boilies up if you like. Would you like some crumb boilie? I bet as soon as I go get some crumb boilie for you, you fly away. Yeah, thought so. I've tied up some fresh solid PVA bags ready for when I need cast the rods, and I've had a cup of tea so I'm nice and warm. I've had to put my mitts on though because my fingertips were getting awfully cold. The temperature is dropping extremely fast tonight. Just want to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy new year. Welcome to 2026. I hope that everybody had a fantastic Christmas and Santa Claus bought you lots of goodies for Christmas. Maybe some of you had some fishing tackle. You might be using it over the next couple of days. If you're out on the bank through the winter, drop us a comment down below where you're fishing and how it's going. I'd love to know how you're getting on. I've got curry and chips coming for tea tonight because it's Friday. Friday is definitely curry and chips at Wireside. I've scheduled that now in my calendar. Every time I come fishing on a Friday, curry and chips every time. Hopefully, after I've had my curry and chips, the carp will come alive, the lake will wake up a little bit, and I can get a bite. I'll keep you posted if that should happen. Ooh. This would be me curry and chips, maybe. I think it is. Yes, good man. Okay, I promise this will be the last time I put the curry and chips in the video as well, else it's just going to get curry and chips, curry and chips, curry and chips, but it smells absolutely fantastic. I'm going to dive straight in. Been about an hour since I demolished that curry and chips, and I've got a lovely nice full belly again. I'm keeping my hands nice and warm with my mitts on, but how do you keep your feet warm in winter? Well, here's a top tip, how I keep my feet warm through the colder months. So my top tip for keeping your feet warm in winter involves one of these. Very simple, a lovely hot water bottle in a cover. We know how a hot water bottle works. Got the kettle boiled up, get your nice hot water, just enough in this kettle to fill up the water bottle, like so, just the right amount. Get the lid screwed back on, back into the bag. So, zip it up, and then you can pop it underneath your feet, like so, and then it just keeps your feet nice and toasty. And if you close the door down just half and half, like so, that keeps the draft off your feet. And having that nice little hot water bottle underneath your tootsies definitely keeps them that little bit warmer. And having the hot water bottle under my feet, the door just zipped over half, and my mitts on definitely does make me feel that bit more comfortable, because let's face it, you don't have to sit with the door open and all of the front of your bivvy open, try and prove you're rock hard. It's not an endurance test, guys. It's about being comfortable and enjoying yourself. Ooh. Ooh. Well, it's just coming up to 7 o'clock, and ooh, it is definitely cold now, let me tell you. Let's pop outside and have a look how the rods are doing. Let's go have a look. Switch the head torch on. There we go. Ooh, already looking mighty frosty. Oh yes, mighty frosty. So, here's another top tip for when you're fishing in the winter. Bring a couple of extra towels, and then you can drape them over your reels like that, like so, and then your lines and your reels don't freeze up as much. Stick them over your reels, and another one for over the alarms. Now, when I had my Delkins, I never had any problems with the alarms freezing, but these are the Fox Mini Micron X's. Not tried these in winter, but I am going to cover them up nevertheless. So, a towel over the alarms as well, like that. Beep beep, there we go. And then we'll come back out in about an hour, 2 hours, to see how froze things have really gotten. Yeah, the Unuki mat and waistling already very, very, very crispy. Oh, yeah. Mighty cold tonight, mighty cold. Well, I've made it to 10 past 10 and I still haven't had to put my big coat on yet. In the layers with the Sherpa fleece hoodie on, doing all right so far, but 10 past 10, I am getting a little bit bored, so I'm going to stick a film on, watch that for a bit, and then, yeah, probably get in the sleeping bag and call it a night. Good morning, and a very, very cold morning it is. Very chilly last night. It's actually that cold, I've just gone to make myself a cup of tea and my gas no longer works in the stove. I can't light it. Well, that's how cold it is inside my bivvy. I boiled the kettle at about 20 past 12 last night, and yeah, got frost on the inside of the bivvy where the kettle were boiling. Let's take a look outside. Okay, so unhooking mat froze, landing net froze, rods very froze, and half the leg, over half the leg, is now leaded over. Yeah, definitely a cold night. I think I'm pretty lucky at that the bay in front of me isn't actually froze, so might be able to get a bit of fishing done through today, but it's looking like I'll probably be going home later today because it's going down even colder tonight, even lower temperatures. But these are the chances you take when you come out in winter. You know, it's not always going to be peaches and cream, as they say. But I did have a good sleep. I wasn't cold or anything. Yeah. I'm going to get another gas can out the car and try and make myself a nice cup of tea. Okay, so fresh can of gas out the car. That one's a full one and is working. So now at least I can have a cup of tea, which I'm looking forward to. What are we going to do, guys, with the lake freezing over? Yeah, bit of a challenge. Do I stay? Do I go? We'll give it an hour. I mean, look at this. The reels are lovely, not frozen over at all. So if you are going to go fishing through the winter, that is definitely my top tip. Scabby Fox froze through being outside, obviously. Let's check the alarms. And look at that, the alarms are not frozen neither. And they do work still. Wicked. I'm not really one for quitting, so I've tied up some fresh solid PVA bags, some fresh hook baits gone on, and gave all 3 rods a cast out. And literally just there, I have got a pike or a carp swirling around in front of me because the ice is slowly closing in on this bay now. See if I can actually nick a bite in the last closing hours of this session, because I'm guessing in the next couple of hours the lake is going to be completely froze over. Now they've already closed the complex, so nobody else really going to be fishing. It's probably going to be closed for a couple of days, I would have thought, because the temperatures are really beginning to drop tonight and tomorrow. Anyway, give it a couple of hours, you never know. Like, do a few shout outs. Shout out to Adrian, who I met earlier in the session, and Mark, who I've just been talking to for about the last hour. Pleasure talking to you guys. Good to see that somebody else besides myself is out on the bank in winter, giving it a go. Well, the ice is definitely moving across this bay. Extremely cold conditions to be out on the bank, I guess. I've even got ice forming in my water butt. Yeah, was a cold night. just over 27 hours out of a 48-hour session on sunny 2, but all of the lakes have now started to freeze over. It has been extremely cold over the last 24 hours, bit of chill in the air. I have tried extremely hard, as always, to put a carp on the bank through this session, but the Wireside complex is now closed until further notice. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name's Lee. I'll catch you next time.